Your paycheck is not the problem. Your reaction to it is. The moment your salary hits your bank account, something almost automatic happens. Within seconds, most people mentally allocate that money to things they want, upgrades they've been thinking about, or small rewards they feel they deserve. And that tiny mental habit, that invisible reflex, is often the real reason people stay financially stuck. So here's a serious question. When your salary notification pops up, do you feel control? Or do you just feel relief? Most people don't actually have a money problem. They have a system problem. The paycheck comes in, the rent gets paid, subscriptions renew themselves, groceries somehow appear, and life continues. But if you ask the average person where the rest of the money went by the end of the month, the answer is usually vague. It's financial autopilot. It's spending without structure. And here's the uncomfortable truth. If you wait to see what's left at the end of the month to save or invest, there will never be anything left. Money expands to fill whatever lifestyle you allow. If there's room to spend, it will be spent. That's not a character flaw. That's human behavior. People treat payday like a mini celebration instead of a strategic event. And the problem isn't that they don't know they should budget. It's that budgeting alone doesn't solve anything if there's no structure behind it. If budgeting apps automatically made people wealthy, everyone using one would be financially free by now. They're not. Because knowing where money goes is different from telling money where to go. Let's talk about the first major leak in most financial lives, the necessities illusion. Almost everyone believes most of their spending is essential. Car payment? That's transportation. Daily coffee? That's productivity fuel. Multiple streaming services? That's necessary relaxation. But survival is cheaper than lifestyle. There's a difference between what keeps you alive and what keeps you comfortable. If more than about 60% of your take-home pay is going toward true essentials, housing, basic food, utilities, transportation, then something is misaligned. Either your cost of living is too high for your income, or you've reclassified luxuries as necessities because it feels easier. Imagine someone earning $75,000 per year, bringing home roughly $4,700 a month after taxes. Rent is $1,800. Car payment is $400. Food is $500. That's about $2,700, a little under 60%. That's manageable. But then come the add-ons. Eating out multiple times per week, spontaneous online purchases, upgraded phone plans, subscriptions that quietly renew every month. Individually, none of these seem destructive. Collectively, they erode margin. Suddenly, this person feels broke, not because income is too low, but because intentional structure is missing. If you don't track your money tracks you. The second weak point is debt discipline, not necessarily eliminating it instantly, but managing it responsibly. Your credit score is essentially your financial reputation. And unlike school grading systems, it is brutally unforgiving. In school, 97% is an A+. In credit scoring, dropping from near-perfect payment history to even a couple missed payments can significantly reduce your score. One missed payment can raise your borrowing costs for years. That difference can mean higher interest rates on a car loan, a mortgage, or even difficulty renting an apartment. Staying current on minimum payments is not glamorous. It doesn't feel like wealth building. But it protects your financial leverage. It keeps doors open. Banks operate on algorithms, not empathy. A single late mark can outweigh months of responsible behavior. Protecting your credit score is like protecting your financial reputation. And reputation compounds just like money does. Now let's address what many people consider the most boring financial tool, the emergency fund. No one brags about it. It doesn't feel exciting. But when life throws something unexpected your way, and it always does, this is what prevents a setback from becoming a crisis. Car repairs, medical bills, job loss, broken appliances, these things don't schedule themselves conveniently. An emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of core expenses sitting in a liquid, accessible account, is not about growth. It's about stability. If your essential monthly expenses are $2,700, that means aiming for somewhere between $8,000 and $16,000 saved. Yes, that sounds like a lot, but it's not meant to be built overnight. It's built gradually, consistently. And here's the part most people overlook. An emergency fund changes your psychology. You negotiate differently when you're not desperate. You walk into work differently when you know you could survive without that paycheck for a few months. You sleep differently when you know one unexpected bill won't wreck your life. Confidence is often just liquidity in disguise. Now let's flip everything. Instead of asking, "What can I spend this on?" ask, "What does this money need to accomplish?" That shift alone changes behavior. The structure is straightforward. Cover real essentials first. Stay current on debt obligations. Build or maintain emergency reserves. Invest consistently. Then attack remaining high-interest debt strategically. But the real game changer is automation. Willpower fades. Systems don't. If your savings, investments, and transfers happen automatically right after payday, you eliminate the emotional negotiation entirely. There's no internal debate, no postponing, no guilt. The money moves before you have a chance to misallocate it. Consider employer retirement matching. If your employer matches 3% of your salary, that's effectively an instant 100% return on that portion of your contribution. There are very few opportunities in finance that offer that kind of guaranteed return. Ignoring it is like refusing free money. Beyond matching, consistent investing over time is where compounding takes over. Even modest monthly contributions, started early, can grow significantly over decades. Delay by 10 years, and the cost isn't small. It can mean hundreds of thousands in lost potential growth. Time is not passive. It either works for you or against you. After setting retirement contributions on autopilot, focus on eliminating high-interest non-mortgage debt. Whether you choose the avalanche method, paying off highest interest rates first, or the snowball method, eliminating smallest balances first for psychological wins, the key is consistency. Personal finance is as much behavioral as it is mathematical. Momentum matters. Progress fuels discipline. Let's simplify everything. When your paycheck hits your account, it's not just income, it's potential leverage. Know your real necessities. Protect your credit. Maintain liquidity. Invest automatically. Reduce high-interest debt. Automate the entire process so your future is funded before your lifestyle expands. You don't need complex spreadsheets. You don't need a finance degree. You need structure. Wealth isn't built in the market first, it's built in behavior. Markets amplify discipline. They don't create it. So the next time your paycheck arrives, pause for a second. Don't let the first instinct dictate the outcome. Decide what that money is meant to do before it disappears into frictionless spending. If this perspective changed how you think about payday, make sure you subscribe, because here we focus on systems over hype and long-term mechanics over shortcuts. And now I'm curious, when your paycheck hits your account, do you control it or does it control you? Drop one word in the comments, system or impulse. Let's see who's actually building something lasting.